I'm doing my research paper on Martin Luther King Jr. and how he changed America. So who was Martin Luther King? So he was a social activist, so he was involved in a lot of political movements, but also civil rights, and like at the time, Black African Americans were being discriminated against, so he was a big part in getting that to change. He believed in a nonviolence approach to the protest, so he read a lot of things from Gandhi, and he didn't believe in like fighting people for freedom. He believed in equality for all, no matter what your culture is, or what your race is, or what you believe in, and he was a very impactful man in changing America. And these are some pictures. This is from the March in Washington, and this is a protest. So what drew me to this topic? So basically, like when I was younger, like you know how like you always have Martin Luther King Day off, but then like in school you do like a little teach-in on like what he did, and you like listen to his speech. So I kind of wanted to learn even more about Martin Luther King. So here's the video that I have. Oh wait, why isn't it working?
One day, this nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will they be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream. My poor little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream
for them. So, that was just a clip from his I Have a Dream speech, so I kind of want to also learn more about that. And then on this picture, it says, every man must decide whether he will walk in the light of creative altruism or in the darkness of destructive selfishness. So basically he's saying, like, if everyone is selfless, then that's how America's going to improve. And if you're selfish, then it's going to be good. So what do I hope to find out? I want to find out more about what really drove Martin Luther King to be a big leader and to try and really change all the segregation against African Americans. And I want to learn also about how he really improved civil rights for Americans. So what have I found so far? So this is an article from biography.com that I found on Martin Luther King. So basically he was born into an African American family in Alabama, and he skipped the 9th and the 11th grade. He was so smart. And then he got involved in the Baptist church, and then he got more involved in, like, with the African American segregation. So there was the Montgomery bus boycott where Rosa Parks was sitting on the bus, and she was in the colored section, and there were enough seats for some of the white people, and she wouldn't get up for them, so she was sent to jail. And so he was, when he heard about that, he led the boycott on that. And then he had the I Have a Dream speech on the March of Washington in 1963. And then which led to the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which was not allowing people to segregate against blacks. And then there was the Voting Rights Act of 1965, which allowed African Americans to vote. And like I said earlier, he believed in nonviolent protests. And then here's one more video that I have.
King's dream was for all Americans. We had to get beyond the color line, and we had to find a way to live together and to go forward together. When I was a boy, the only unpaved streets in our town were in black neighborhoods. I still remember vividly seeing racial signs separating who could go to what kind of restroom. I can still remember in the 60s in Washington hearing the Black Power advocates speak on DuPont Circle when I was working there in the summertime. You could go there any night and listen to them say that the king is wrong. The only way we'll ever get anything done is to exercise force. We may have to have some violence. There may have to be some blood spilled. King made a decision that he would never do that.
One of the great glories of American democracy is that we have the right to protest for rights. We will do it in an orderly fashion. This is a non-violent protest.
He was a total advocate of nonviolence. He never encouraged anyone to do anything other than turn the other cheek when it came to using force, and to use the force of their convictions in marching and speaking and singing for justice and peace.
We are at a defining moment in our history. Is everyone going to vote tomorrow?
I think he would love the fact that now we have a lot of African Americans running for office, and that we have a woman and an African American competing for the nomination of our party. I think that's what Martin Luther King wanted.
That was from like the 2008 election. And so my working thesis is, although Martin Luther King Jr. died for his cause of fighting for African American civil rights in the 20th century, MLK Jr. exemplified that it is most important to fight for one's causes and beliefs on account of nothing and no one.
All right.
I have a page too.
Okay.